Hi there everybody. To commemorate Malbec Day, I thought we would head back to the home of Malbec, which is Cahors in southwest France. So today I'm having a quick look at Chateau du Cèdre's Cahors there. Now this estate is probably the most famous estate in Cahors at the moment. The Veraig family, I think I'm saying that correctly, my apologies to them if I'm not, started producing their wines there in 1958, and since then have actually been at the forefront of modernising Cahors as an appellation. Cahors, southwest France, had the misfortune to be south of Bordeaux, which meant that historically their wines, which in many ways were every bit as good as those made in Bordeaux, had to trade up the Garonne River through the town of Bordeaux, which meant that additional taxes were levied, and unfortunately their Cahors producers lost out because of that. So for that reason almost, Malbec, or Cotte as they call the grape variety, has probably lost out in France. These days we see it a lot more in Argentina. Here's a wine that actually says on the label that it's a Malbec. Having said that, the notes that the estate give out say there's 5% of Tannat and 5% of Merlot in this as well, so it's ameliorated slightly. As I say, these producers always, Chateau du Cedre, always turn up in wine searches, most searched for wines from Cahors and most expensive wines from Cahors. They make a range. Their Le Cèdre, the top wine, invariably is the most expensive and the most searched for. How have they revolutionised this? Increasing use of new oak, having some of the best vineyards on the limestone plateau there that give the longest lived wines from the area, and also because their winemaking has been excellent. I mean, if you go to the winery, which I was lucky enough to do probably about 15 years ago, the place is spotless. It's beautifully kept. Everything's pristine. You can tell that really good winemaking goes on there. The aroma is clear and you can smell plentiful new French oak, and the wines, you know, get a good portion of new oak, and they're well handled. They're hand picked. There's a lot of selection goes on. So these guys are real craftsmen. So to come to the wine, Cahors, typically a black wine. Looking at that, I know the light's fading today, but you can barely see through it. I mean, it's not a black wine, but it's a darkly pigmented wine. Giving it a good swirl. The aromas are powerful. I've had this open in the decanter for about half an hour, so not a long time, and it's just bursting with there's notes of chocolate, there's dark fruit, there's sort of more dams and bullace, boysenberry, that sort of end of the spectrum. There's, as I say, chocolatiness, but also a slight cocoa note, and I suppose licorice, dark bitter licorice coming through. It's an intense, complex wine. On the palate, you've got fresh acidity. You've got all those sort of red to black fruits that I was talking about earlier. There's a good tannic grip. I mean, the wine is dry, but it's also drying and astringent because of the tannins. Tannins coming from the pips, the wooden pips of the grape skins as they macerate this, and also from the skins of the grapes, and to an extent from the oak barrels they age in. So drying, but not completely drying my mouth out. There's good fruit still in there. It's probably medium to full bodied. It's not a huge wine. It's not highly alcoholic. The alcohol, 13.5%. The flavours last well. They develop on the mouth. They're opening up. So there's all those red fruits, and there's a meatiness as well to it. What do I mean by meatiness? I guess I'm talking about red meat, where there's a presence of blood, giving it that sort of slightly feral character. Delicious wine, lovely complexity, nice length. Happy Malbec Day, everybody.